I'm Nicole. I am a writer and story nerd, and today we are talking all about being productive as a writer. Specifically, when you have a full-time job, there are always so many things to balance, and I have really been having a challenge with this recently because of my kind of unique-ish situation. So I'm a remote worker, but I am even more so a nomadic worker. I change locations every month or so. So, a lot of productivity hacks are have a routine, get up at the same time every day, write for 2 hours in the morning from 6 to 8, and then start working at 8, and then stop working at 4, and then write for another 2 hours. You know what I mean? Um, Interestingly, so when you change time zones a lot, I also work with a team in Dublin and a team in Australia. So when I'm in East Coast time, I have meetings in the morning and I have meetings in the evenings. And then our sales team is in New York, so sometimes I talk to them too. It can make things a little bit difficult. You can't necessarily say you're 4 hours ahead of Toronto. You can't necessarily wake up at 6 a.m. to write for 2 hours if your last meeting ended at 1 a.m. It's been an interesting challenge. So I'm going to kind of share with you what I've learned about my work day and balancing my work day to make time for writing. And I am going to talk about fitting writing in. And all of these things can be applied to you, whatever you do. So the first thing that I learned about was mosquito tasks. And mosquito tasks are, funnily enough, I think if you measured them, they are pesky, annoying things that eat up a lot of your day. They're basically things that take less than 10 minutes, but they come in throughout the day, and you have so many of them. So things like sending or responding to emails, doing a metric check, reading an article, responding to Slack messages, all that kind of thing. So the first thing that I've learned to do is when I wake up, the first thing I have, depending on where I am, but one of the things I have to do in my morning is attend a stand-up, and I'm going to talk more about morning routine in a minute. But the stand-up is usually the first time I'm on my computer. If I'm in Eastern, we'll see how it changes when I'm in the UK. But anyways, you get up and you look at your task list for the day. I use Notion to organize everything. I have a great little to-do list there. It's really cool because when you don't finish something, you can just kind of slide it over or duplicate it or whatever. So I will go through my task list for the day, and Notion has a really cool emoji feature that I might stick in here, and I will emoji label all of my mosquitoes. And these are tasks that I think will take less than 10 minutes. So the first thing I do every workday is I sit down and I see how many tasks I have. I set a timer, if I remember, for 10 minutes, and then I get done as many as possible. I think the suggestion I've heard is to do 10 mosquitoes. Sometimes I don't have that many, so mostly it's like no more than 10. But mostly it's just like, okay, hit them out, hit them out, hit them out. A lot of times they take less than 10 minutes, so you do your 10 mosquitoes. I also do, in that time, I consider my email check and my Slack check to be my mosquito tasks. And at that point in the day, once I've done the mosquitoes, done the Slack check, done the email check, I will usually close my email. The next thing I do is I eat a frog. If you've heard this, it's like another sort of productivity thing. It's a task that you really, really don't want to do. It won't take that long probably, but you've been dreading it. And for me, I choose the mosquito based on which task that I have slid across the page the most number of times that day. That is my frog. So you set a timer for 30 minutes and you eat your frog. Structuring the rest of my day, I have meetings, and then I have my what I call productivity sessions. And I guess it's kind of Pomodoro. I commit to 3 50-minute productivity sessions a day. So what that means is my email is off, my Slack is off, my phone is in another room, I have my headphones on, I choose my music, I choose the music playlist before I put the headphones on, I figure out what tasks I'm working on in my list, and then I sit down and I do the tasks. I set a timer for 50 minutes, and then I go for 50 minutes. When the 50 minutes are up, I go and I take a 10-15 minute break. I get a snack. I go to the washroom, drink lots of water during all of this, of course. Pat my dog, do whatever, and then come back and do 2 more of those 50-minute sessions. Usually I'll check my phone during the 10 minutes, check Slack, make sure everything's okay, watch a YouTube video, just let my mind wander a little bit, and then come on right back. And that timed thing is a really good trick for my brain. And so I use a lot of timers in my day. But the timed thing, a really good trick for my brain, and something I also typically use for writing. So where does writing fit into all of this? A couple things that I do for writing is I use my timer trick again of like, just do it for 20 minutes. And usually when you're 20 minutes in, you want to keep going, or you don't, but at least you've done 20 minutes. Sometimes if I want to read, I'll use the trick of, okay, do 20 minutes and then you can read. And then I can see whether I want to read or not at the end. I apply the mosquito tricks to things like YouTube a lot as well, and I'll kind of have those on mosquito tasks for like at the end of the day, like when I'm watching TV or whatever, I'd be like, okay, respond to YouTube emails, do this thumbnail, blah, 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 blah. It works really well for that. If you're liking this video, before we get into the daily contrasting routines bit, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to hear more writing content. All right, let's go on. I want to give an example schedule. So my example schedule today was I woke up at 7:30, lied in bed, listened to a bit of a podcast. I'm re-listening to some first draft episodes from Sarah Ennie. So I listened to the podcast while I do my Wordle and my Knuckle and my cryptogram of the day. I feel like it just wakes up my brain. Then I get up, get dressed, make my bed really, really quick. I'm always a little bit late for this, and run to my laptop so I can do my stand-up. That lasts 15 minutes. Then I will organize my to-do list for the day, identify my mosquitoes, my frog. I will typically start doing the Slack check and the email check. Again, because I work with Australia, a lot of stuff comes in overnight, so I just go through, check really quick. And then at 8:45, I left and went to the gym. I did a really good hot hatha class at the gym today, and then my mom stayed for an extra class for an extra hour, and so sometimes I'll bring my laptop and I'll work at the gym. Today I decided I would not bring my laptop and I would just bring the stack of papers I've been carrying around about SMUC, my book that I'm working on right now, and so I sat there for a good hour. Then I came back home, I made myself lunch, did my 3 50-minute productivity sessions. At 4 o'clock, I'd finished my 3 50-minute productivity sessions. So I went and I read for a little bit. I finished a reread of The Ivies by Alexa Dunn. I read some of my Scotland book in preparation for my trip there. Right now I'm filming this video. And then in a couple minutes, I have meetings until 7:45. So it's almost 5:30. I have meetings for the next 2-ish hours. And then I'm meeting a friend at a park and we're going to go for a walk because it's like June 20 something. Then it's the longest day of the year, theoretically. So it should be sunny. So that is an example of a that day. An example day when I'm traveling, I'm going to use Panama, for example. It was, I woke up, again, my stand-up was at 7, so I would roll out of bed real fast at like 6:55, look presentable, go do my stand-up. After stand-up, I would stay there for a little bit, pretty much do my mosquito tasks, get them off the list, and I would go downstairs, hop on my bike, and ride down to a cafe or somewhere for breakfast and co-working. While I was at the cafe, I'd usually finish up my frog, any mosquito tasks, maybe do my 3 productivity sessions, maybe take a couple of meetings, then come back, do about 45 minutes, an hour of writing kind of as a break, then, kind of laze around for a bit of the afternoon, watching a Scrum course that I'm working on for work. Then around like 5, 6, we'd maybe head out to a restaurant, maybe by water taxi. We would, head there, start ordering appetizers. I would have one last stand-up call at 6:30 to 6:45, and then I would join my friends in enjoying some margaritas and spend the night out on the beach or at the floating bar or the floating restaurant on the water. All right, so those are 2 examples of days in the life contrasting schedules using these fun productivity hacks. I would love to hear how you build writing into your day and how you make sure that you stay productive at work while still making progress on your writing projects. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.